Hello, I'm Jess Wagstrom, professional dabbler, and today we are dabbling in self-improvement. Specifically, we're going to talk about vegetables. When I was a kid, a teenager, and well into my 20s, I hated vegetables. I would pick them off burgers and pizzas. I would refuse to touch foods that I couldn't identify. If I didn't know what was in it, I didn't want to eat it. I remember sometimes my mom would try to sneak vegetables into my food and I would find them and throw them away. I've been a picky eater my whole life, but I've also been actively trying to get to where I'm a less picky eater. Also, I knew if I didn't start eating vegetables, I was just not going to be very healthy. I did manage to teach myself how to like a lot of vegetables, and in today's video I want to share with you some of the tricks I use so that hopefully you can learn to like them too. Before diving into the tricks though, I want to give you some information up front about whether or not these are going to work for you. Number one, this is not an overnight process. This is still a very active process for me, and I've been working on liking vegetables for at least 10, maybe 12 years. Give yourself a lot of patience and leeway in the beginning, and don't feel discouraged if a year has gone by and you still don't like anything. Just think of it like a lifelong experience to get better at the skill of liking vegetables. Number two, the goal is not to come out of this liking every single vegetable on the planet. A lot of them are gross. I like so many more vegetables than teenage and 20-year-old me ever would have expected, but I still cannot stand mushrooms, olives, okra. I don't want to eat them. I don't want to have anything to do with them, and I'm okay with that. The goal is to find one or two vegetables that you do like, that you can eat, so that you can get more nutrients than you would out of, say, a slice of pizza. Maybe you could even put them on your slice of pizza. And the third and most important thing is that this has to be your choice. It has to come from you. You have to actively want to try to change your tastes, because you're going to spend a lot of time eating a lot of foods that you don't enjoy eating, and it's going to suck, and you have to have the motivation from inside to get through that and keep going. Think of vegetables as an acquired taste, a taste that you are actively choosing to acquire. If you go into all of these exercises thinking, I hate vegetables and there's no way this is going to change my mind, you're going to try a vegetable and be like, nope, I don't like it, and continue to live your life. Unfortunately, this video is not about like how to trick your kids into eating vegetables or how to get your spouse to eat vegetables. You know, it has to come from the person who is going to be doing these things. So how do you actually do it? How do you actually teach yourself to like vegetables? Is it possible? Maybe. Step one, determine what you do like. You already know what you hate. Vegetables. Great, okay. But what do you like about those vegetables? What a weird question. We're looking for opportunities to look at vegetables in a favorable light. So even though you might not like the way they taste or you might not like their texture, make a list of characteristics of vegetables that you appreciate. Do you like the smell, the way they look on a chopping board, the color, the sound, their role in a favorite TV show or movie? Anything counts here. We're just trying to sway the tables in favor of vegetables little bit by little bit. Maybe you like the way cucumbers smell. Maybe you like the way it feels to drag a fork through an avocado. Maybe you think onions look really cool when you chop them in half. Or maybe you just want to pretend you're a Fraggle, chop up a bunch of radishes and pretend they're doozer sticks. Whatever speaks to you. Step two. Baby girl. Pick a starter veggie and hide it. So look over your list of things you like about vegetables. Whichever veggie on your list pulls you the most, go for it. But please don't try just eating it raw. That's a recipe for disaster. Hide it in something you already love. Get yourself a bowl of ranch dip and just slather your vegetables in ranch. Wrap your vegetables in bacon. Cover your vegetables in cheese. Put your vegetables on your pizza and then wrap that pizza in a donut. Whatever it takes to get the vegetable into your face, do it. And I'm going to introduce the two most important rules of this process. Yes, there are rules. They're very important. Number one, you are only obligated to take 1 to 2 bites of this vegetable. You just have to try it. That's it. Rule number two, you are under no obligation to like this vegetable. If you take your one bite and you're like, well, I tried it, then that's it. You did it. Good job. Remember, the goal is not to immediately like every vegetable. The goal is just to set yourself up for success and to try as much as you can. All right, step 3, try the same vegetable again in a different way.
Try again, try again.
Vegetables taste and feel completely different in a lot of different forms. Like, they're gonna taste way different cooked than they are raw. They're gonna taste different steamed. They're gonna taste different based on what you season them with. They're gonna taste different deep fried. I highly recommend deep frying your veggies. For example, you might not like raw onions, but you might like them caramelized. You might not like cooked carrots, but you might like them pureed in a soup so that it's basically liquid carrot juice. If you yourself hate to cook, which I know I do, this is a great time to ask for the help of those friends of yours that keep saying, like, you don't hate Brussels sprouts, you just haven't had them prepared properly. Tell them to put their money where their mouth is and make you some Brussels sprouts. It might sting your pride a little bit to do this because you may have built yourself up to this person as like the person who doesn't like Brussels sprouts, period, end of discussion. But it is a good way to get some free food because I found a lot of people that cook are really excited about their food possibly changing the way you view a particular food. Just be sure that your friends are aware of the rules. You only have to eat 1 or 2 bites and you don't have to like it. Another way to experiment with trying vegetables in different forms is when you go out to restaurants with friends and family and they're getting veggies with their meal, ask them if you can have a bite or 2. Deep fried onion rings totally count. Deep fried jalapeno poppers totally count. Deep fried vegetables are still vegetables. Step 5 is to give it time. This is a process. You're probably going to start out hating every single thing that you eat. That is okay. You are allowed to not like something. You are allowed to repeatedly not like something. The most important thing is to keep an open mind every time you're tasting something. You're not tasting it with this defiant attitude like, I'll try you, but I'm not gonna like you. You have to go into it giving the vegetable an honest chance, and then doing it again, and again, and again, and again. Over time, you're gonna notice patterns like, I seem to prefer root vegetables, so maybe I might give beets a try. And you don't have to enjoy eating them in every form. You might enjoy something cooked but totally hate it raw. That is fine. And the longer you do this, vegetables that you thought, I've tried this 4 or 5 times, I guess I just don't like it, you may end up actually enjoying eventually. Bonus step. This is an optional bonus step, but it will really help a lot if you're willing to do it, and that is trying your hand at cooking. I really hate cooking. I've tried and tried and tried and tried to like cooking, and I just don't. If I'm hungry, I want the food to just be in front of me magically with no thought or preparation. I don't want to have to spend time figuring out what I need, putting it all in front of me, waiting forever for it to cook, hoping I don't screw it up. I just want to eat the yummy food. And I'm positive that that's part of why it took me so long to form the relationship with vegetables that I've finally formed, my relationship with vegetables. Because cooking your own vegetables gives you a lot more control over the flavor, the texture, the whole eating process that you're just not gonna get if someone else is making your food. However, cooking can have a pretty steep learning curve, especially if you've never done it. It seems really abstract and out there. All of the beginner how to cook tutorials have you making food you don't even want to eat. So learning cooking is kind of just trying it and seeing what works. I recommend watching YouTube or browsing Pinterest, finding a recipe that you like, finding a tutorial to make it, seeing if you feel like you can actually do all of the steps, and then just giving it a shot. And that is all I have for today. Those are all of my tips and tricks that I have learned over years of teaching myself how to enjoy vegetables. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you have any tips yourself for learning to like vegetables, please leave them in the comments. If you have any questions for me, please leave those in the comments as well. And by the way, this video was chosen by my patrons. They helped me pick this idea from a list of what they wanted to actually see made and put on my channel. If you would like to help me decide what videos to make next, or just to support this channel, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. And I really want to thank these people right here for being my patrons and helping to support me to create these videos. And thank you very much for watching. This video was about vegetables, but who knows what the next video could be about. My name is Jess. I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I will see you the next time I make a video. Goodbye!